Hi, friends. This is Caroline from Carousel, and your energy is safe with me. So, there is a question that I'm hearing, and I'm hearing in the collective, especially as people are going through their own great awakening in all these versions and they're becoming more in touch with their spirituality. And I've had this conversation with probably almost all my clients in some version at some point in time. And it goes something like, what is my spirituality supposed to look like? What am I supposed to be doing? Like, am I supposed to be doing this? Am I supposed to be doing that? How do I get more in touch with my intuition? What does it look like? And the first thing I'd like to say is, so let's answer first. What is your spirituality supposed to look like? Whatever the fuck you want. There's no right or wrong. The only parameter I will give you is if you feel you are here to serve light, if you feel you are here to serve love, unconditional love, the source consciousness, the service to source or service to others, if you're here to embody and spread love into the world, that's the only parameter I would give you is as you are exploring your own spirituality and what feels good to you and what doesn't feel good to you and what your own practice looks like. The question, the parameter I would offer you is, am I doing this from a place of love? Does this feel like it is spreading love to me? Or does it feel like this is coming from a place of fear within me? Or that this is fear-based or spreading fear? That's the only parameter I would give you. Other than that, it can pretty much look like anything. And I would like to preface this with am a lifelong intuitive. I'm a lifelong spiritual explorer. I have been doing this my entire life. Like my entire life has been dedicated to this, including other lifetimes. I have had almost no formal training. Everything I have been learned or taught or guided to, besides from what I got from my mentor a few years ago, which was some of the details about how to lead the alchemy style journeys that I do now, and some of her tools because she was a trained counselor. Besides from that, everything I have done has been intuition based and guidance. I've gone through full rituals being like, I don't know what I'm doing, but this is just what it feels like I'm supposed to do. I've made huge decisions in my life based upon my intuition that always ended up being better. I've had people ask me, like, oh, why did you choose to do whatever? And I was like, I don't know. It just felt like the right thing to do. So your intuition will never lead you astray. What I would say is the parameter, like I said, is this of the light? Is this of love? Or is this of fear? Or is this of darkness? And if you're having a hard time deciphering where whatever you're looking into or the practice you're looking into or the habit or the belief or the structure or the person or the guide you're looking into, whatever, if you're having a hard time discerning, then I would say that you likely need more personal or inner development. Like you likely need more inner healing so you'll have more clarity. And so the healing aspect as we embark on a spiritual journey or intuitive practice or whatever on our own is so important because we have to be self accountable. If you are ready to accept the powers and the gifts and the ability and the strength and and I don't mean power in like the like abuse others way. I mean power as in the inner power, the inner confidence, what you think of when you see someone that is so confident and empowered. They're unaffected by outer surroundings. They are not tailoring their behavior or their beliefs, or they are not softening or diminishing themselves for others. I mean that type of empowerment where you are completely self-sustainable. You're completely sovereign in that sense. That's what a lot of the 5D New Earth conversation means. The unity conscious idea when we talk about being a sovereign being is that you are not dependent or on something outside of yourself. You are not like curtailing your behavior based on something outside of yourself. You are completely empowered from the inside out. So to own that type of power that is available to you as you embark on the spiritual journey, it requires healing. It requires healing your own stuff. And so, what I would offer to people as they are exploring spirituality, exploring different things, like maybe you're getting into angel cards or tarot cards, or maybe you're getting into crystals, or maybe you're getting into oils, or maybe you're getting into a meditation practice, or maybe you found a priestess guide that you like, or maybe whatever. There's so many avenues and so many paths. All of the paths to enlightenment are the same, regardless of who you follow, regardless of how you choose to go down that path. There are certain road marks, benchmarks, there are certain lessons or understandings, inner standings, which I think is such a cool term. There are certain like foundational or benchmarks that we all reach. So, regardless of how you choose to take that path in whatever way feels appropriate and aligned for you, there are the same markers on all of them. So that's why I say do what feels right to you, because that's what you're supposed to be doing. Could you imagine somebody outside of myself who doesn't have this inner connection that I have telling me that the way I practice my spirituality is wrong? I just couldn't even imagine that, because I didn't get this from somebody else. I didn't inherit my spirituality from other people. I didn't inherit my connection to source and divinity and the guidance from an outside source. This is my inner garden. This is my inner flowers. This blossomed and bloomed inside of me. So this is why it's no one else's business or job to be telling you what your spirituality should look like. The other thing I'd like to say is, because I had this come up recently with a client and friend, is that as you are exploring what feels good to you, what you like, oh, I'm going to try this, like, oh, I want to try this, you don't have to continue doing anything. There are practices, there are habits, there are things that will resonate with you at one point and resonate less with you later. And maybe you never pick them up again, or maybe you pick them up again later, 2 years down the road, whatever. I go through phases with crystals. I don't necessarily always use them in the same way. And yet one of my friends, we're doing the Soul Essential podcast together, Andrea, that is one of her main mediums is crystals and essential oils. That's her gift, and she's so good at it. So we all have a different and unique niche in the way we practice, in the way we express, in the way spirit flows through us. And it's no one else's job to tell you what that should look like or how it should be. Once again, the parameter I will offer you, if you are here to serve the light and of love, is to constantly be self-checking, self-identifying. Is this coming from a place of love, or is this coming from a place of fear or ego? Especially as you are getting into any sort of guidance or teacher role, it's especially important if you're here to serve the collective. If you're here to serve source, we need to constantly be doing our own inner work. And that is what my biggest gift in being able to guide others is as I'm helping people, as I'm guiding people, as I'm going with them through their ascension points, I'm also learning about myself. I am forced to confront my own shadows, which are reflected back to me in so many of my clients, because it's normal. You pull in what you need to learn, especially when we're in this place. And so to be able to offer them the type of guidance that they need, I have to be constantly healing. I can't be holding on to my darkness and then try to help them with their light. Like, it doesn't make sense. So the constant idea of like shedding and releasing is so important. The idea of rebirth and renewal. If you are engaging on a spiritual path, on an intuitive path, or whatever, you're exploring your spirituality, you can go as far or as shallow into this practice as you want. And what my friend said to me as she's exploring, she's learning about these things, is I just don't know who I am anymore. And so there are points in our awakening, our ascension journey, where it feels like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know who I am. Like, I remember being at this point years ago, and calling my friend and being like, I don't even know what I like to eat anymore. Like, do I like pizza still? Like, I don't know. And she's like, what are you talking about? And so just because when you go through so much healing, when you start exploring new things, the identities and the limitations through which you defined yourself to yourself have to start dropping. They have to start shedding, especially where we are in the Great Awakening. We're all shedding, we're all dropping. And so, yes, there will be likely points in your journey where it feels like I don't know who I am anymore. But what I would like to offer you is it's not that you are becoming a new person. It's that you are shedding and uncovering the real you that has always been inside, that has been hidden and masked and buried by certain shadows, certain like I keep seeing like a snake shedding its skin, like certain dead skins that you don't need, certain suits that you don't need to wear anymore, certain labels, certain beliefs about yourself, stories about yourself, certain wounds that have weighed you down. So even though you have come to see yourself and identify yourself with those things, it doesn't mean that they will continue with you. And it also doesn't mean that you are limited to being identified with just those things. So it's like when people begin to lose weight and you've always been overweight or you've always perceived yourself to be overweight, it can feel very strange and uncomfortable when you begin to let go of the weight you have always wanted to let go of, because you have come to define yourself in some aspect with that weight, with that struggle of the weight, with the feeling of dissatisfaction with yourself and with your body. And so when you begin to let that go, even though it's what you ultimately want and it's for your highest good, it can feel very disorienting. It can feel very strange and vulnerable. And I would like to offer that is such a normal part of your journey. Such a normal part of your journey. And so there's 3 things that I will give you for every spiritual journey, no matter what you like to do. But personal development, in my opinion, in my sense, in my intuition, to be to have a spiritual practice that is of the light, I encourage it to include some sort of personal development. In my opinion, in my practice, in my work, I have seen that this has helped greatly with people healing from traumas. We can find purpose, we can find understanding when we have a greater understanding of the spiritual and the energetic world, especially when it comes into lineage healing or past life healing or things that happened to us early on in our life that we haven't been able to make sense of. So one of the biggest things for trauma healing is purpose. And so whether you find that in your spirituality or you find that in service to others, that's something that I will offer to you. And the other thing is, for every spiritual journey, for every intuitive, for every empath, for every whatever, there's three things I will give you that will help with your journey. The first, and you don't need anyone else for these things, but the first, tools, basically tools, like a tool, a help that you like, whatever tools work for you. But the 2 that I think are indispensable are meditation and journaling. So meditation and journaling, tools, whatever tools, interchanges for what work for you, but tools. The second one is nature. Nature time heals us when we don't know how to heal ourselves. Nature is going to be your biggest support, your biggest healer. Anybody I've gone through with like my MFit program, so my emotional health and fitness program is they've always gone to nature on their own. So nature heals us when we don't know how to heal ourselves. So tools, my perspective on these, the most basic and helpful are meditation and journaling, nature. The third one is community. You need people that you can talk to, that understand, that make a safe space for you. These can be people that know more than you. These can be people that are just interested, that are in the same place as you. These can be people that you end up guiding because you know just a little bit more than them, so you can give them help. But community is everything, especially when we're in a healing thing. So with these 3 things, with the tools, journaling, and meditation, and whatever else works for you, nature, and this can be even just like start growing your own plants, start tending to nature in your house, start camping, start hiking, start sitting outside in the sun, whatever it is. But nature time will heal you, and to understand ourselves and to have that quiet reflection time is so, so important. And then the third, community. So these 3 pillars will help you greatly on whatever your journey is. Without community, without talking to other people and realizing that your feelings are normal, especially if you're getting intuitive senses and you have nobody to bounce them off of or confirm them, it can be very weird and strange, and it can feel scary. And so it's important to have a community that can help offer you support, offer you guidance, and offer you confirmation when it's necessary. And then Those are the three. Those are the three. So it's those three will help you on your spiritual journey, no matter what it looks like. And this is the other thing too, is do what resonates with you. I'm a human. I'm a person. There's going to be things that I say that may not resonate with you, and maybe they're not for you. So even if I say something that doesn't feel right, always question within yourself of, does this feel true to me? I've even had friends give me readings, and in the reading realized that what they were saying was coming from their ego and was not for my highest good, and had to, but everything else they said was perfect. So like 90% of the reading was amazing, but that 10% wasn't for me. It was from their egos, their own wounds being projected and leaked onto me. And so you have to be able to get in touch with yourself and your core and know, okay, this is for me, this is of the light, this is for my benefit, versus, this is not of love, this is not of truth, this is not of light. And therefore, I don't need to internalize this or take on someone else's wounds or information. So your spirituality can look like whatever you want it to look like. It's yours. It's not someone else's, and it's not someone else's version of it. Like, I say bad words all the time. Fuck, shit. All the time. But I don't feel like I have to cultivate or craft an image of a certain type of spirituality, because this is who I am. This is who I have been my entire life. And so I don't feel like I need to cultivate it or trim off certain pieces for it to look like something else. So your spirituality doesn't have to look like anything else. It's great to have models in the beginning, because you can start picking and choosing what feels good to you. Like, oh, I like this person's practice, or like, oh, I like that idea, or like, oh, I love astrology and I like this astrologer, but I don't like that astrologer's like inputs as much. So important to have models and community and people that you can bounce off of and kind of explore. And there's different experts. There's different experts that have certain expertise. So like I said, my friend is a crystal and oils expert, not my expertise. I'm interested. I love hearing from her. I love her information. She's my go-to, and I have questions, but that's not my language. That's not my gift. My gift is something else. So explore, be open to exploring, knowing that you don't have to commit to anything, and you can start something and stop it. You don't have to lose yourself in the process. Think of it as you are uncovering and exploring the authentic you that is there. And to honor that authentic you, know that you don't have to do shit. You don't have to do anything that doesn't feel aligned or purposeful or good to you. Your role here, your mission here in exploring your spirituality, exploring your personal development, your evolution, your growth, is to honor yourself, to operate out of a loving and compassionate space for yourself to others, to find that niche that fits for you, that your place in the puzzle of life, where you can be of service to source, to others, and you can ripple out your love, your flavor, your brand of love and light and healing and contribution into the world. So what is your spirituality supposed to look like? Whatever feels aligned and purposeful for you. There are guides that can help you explore different avenues. Important to see what feels good to you. Important to have a personal development or a spiritual development evolution practice along with it, so you can constantly be realigning back into love and back into light, and using the parameter of asking yourself and being very honest with yourself. Is this of love? Is this of light? Or is this of darkness? And is this of fear? So I will offer you that. If you have questions, please let me know. My name is Caroline from Cara Soul. I am here to help you. I'm here to serve and help guide the new intuitives and the new empaths back to themselves and their divinity. So I have my Cara Soul Divine online memberships, which are helping people do that. Lots of tools and resources there, including journaling, guided meditations. We do a members only alchemy live meditation that I lead. And just so much stuff. All the posts and the videos are on there as well. So thank you for sharing this space with me. Thank you for giving me your energy and your time. So have a great day. Enjoy. Find that peace, that flow. Have a flowing day, and I will be with you soon.